Hello and welcome to the name-pending Snadurday podcast. My name is Eris, and I am joined today with...
Jag Weston, nice to meet you.
Kyle, nice to meet you.
It's your boy, Patrick in the house.
And as we do every week, we have a drink of the week. This week's drink is a little thematic to today's podcast idea. It is High C. I don't know if you guys have drank High C back in your childhood. Maybe you drank a Capri Sun. Maybe you drank a Kool-Aid. I know, Justin. What were those barrel things called?
Dude, I could not remember, but they were like little kegs. I think they were called keg, but like it was like a little plastic barrel with an aluminum top that you had to like rip off, but it was really hard to rip off, so you just ended up just poking a hole in them.
Yakult yogurt.
Imagine a
kid.
Imagine a kid just like, oh yeah, I know. What are you drinking? I'm drinking a keg.
Dude, I don't know what they were called, but they were like little like Donkey Kong monkey barrels of plastic, and there was just like sugar water in there.
Maybe that's why they don't exist anymore, because they were too close to alcohol for kids.
Kids were bringing alcohol into their schools under the guise of a keg.
Yeah, that's messed
Little elementary school kids doing keg stands.
Dude, I forget what they're called, but...
So this week we have High C as our drink, and everybody's got their High C box. This week we've got Flash and Fruit Punch as the High C flavor. That's the OG flavor.
Oh shit.
Yeah, if you guys can get that ASMR sound of pulling that straw off the...
You rip the straw off?
Yep.
Bam.
Oh yeah.
That's weird.
Gotta love the crinkling of plastic.
Get those tinkles.
Alright.
So, in correlation to this week's podcast idea, or the drink of the week, this week's general idea is of stuff like toys, old toys from our
We
childhood.
could probably do like old shows as well.
Anything old, like I think from our
Well,
childhood.
things from like, for us, the
from
90s
our
or early
childhood.
2000s.
Yeah. Like SpongeBob. The most amazing cartoon of
Yeah,
all
but like
time.
the old SpongeBob, not the new SpongeBob.
Yeah, the old SpongeBob specifically.
Yes, the greasy spoon.
I'm pretty sure on the Kids' Choice Awards, SpongeBob did win again this year.
You know, I just learned this the other week. Not the other week, the other day. The person who was like the founder or the CEO who runs Nickelodeon, right?
Mhm.
He apparently has a foot fetish.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because before Nickelodeon, there was like their like logo or one of their logos was like a splat on the ground, and we know the splatter now with Nickelodeon, but it was like a foot that splattered.
Oh
on the
no,
thing.
I do remember that.
I remember that. Yeah. Because he had a foot fetish.
That's whack.
And there is quite literally an entire room at a hotel
Feet on the wall.
Okay, so
that has to do with this foot fetish.
another conspiracy theory, right? You remember the three-eyed monkey named Paul for Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
Hi,
What
I'm
the
Paul.
fuck was that? You're
So
talking about a
weird.
foot fetish, okay? But what was that?
That
A
happened to
three-eyed
Nick
monkey
at
named
night, like
Paul?
after George Lopez, dude.
Yeah.
I remember
George
George
Lopez.
Lopez. That shit was
Oh,
crazy.
I don't even remember what it looks
Oh, no, I remember
like. I
what
just
it
I
looks
have
remember
a
the
very
high
crisp image
Paul.
in my mind.
I just remember him popping out of the bush, looking at the
Hi,
camera.
I'm Paul.
That's what it was.
or the Predator.
Yeah, I remember that too. That's funny.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Oh, that monkey. I just looked it up. Yeah, no.
Three-eyed high on Paul monkey.
Yeah. It's weird.
Well, it kind of makes sense. It's the image says DNA Productions. And it has
Oh,
trees next to the monkey that are,
okay.
It all makes
Okay.
sense now.
yeah. The trees next to the monkey are double helicoid. Or
I didn't
helices.
notice that.
Yeah, I
Felix
didn't
is
either. I was
double
kidding.
I was so focused on the monkey.
I just looked it
Yeah.
up. I don't think I knew what a double
No.
helix was.
I never lost eye
when
contact with that
when I saw
monkey.
it.
That's
Three eyes to look at it. It's kinda
that's
hard.
definitely one of those adult things that you realize when you're older.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah, that too. There was he apparently made like there was like a lot of fart jokes. Like a lot of fart jokes
I mean, it's a
in
kid show.
Nickelodeon that you would like as a kid you'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's funny." But they were like fetishized that you wouldn't realize as a kid cuz haha fart joke. But as an adult, you'd be like, That's it's kind of weird, my guy.
Hold on.
Yeah,
So
you
are you
know.
saying that's why? Like, I'm pretty sure it's like more specific to our generation and around our generation, like not too far younger, not too far older, like maybe give or take 3-4 years. But is the ha funny fart or potty humor? That's why our generation thinks that's more funny than the other generations.
Maybe.
Maybe.
So yeah, I just wonder how similar kids shows are nowadays to what we used to
Oh,
watch
they're
as kids.
so different.
Really?
They
Yeah,
are
well,
very different.
the thing is, like, kids nowadays, they watch things on YouTube, not only just the kid shows, and the things on YouTube are like they're just brain rot. There's nothing there that's educational other than maybe there's villains and then there's good people and they're playing tricks on each other or
It's
something
like
like
that
that.
Spider-Man and Elsa thing.
Yeah, that
That was so
that
weird.
shit's so
Wait,
weird.
whoa, what? Spider-Man and Elsa?
It's
Yeah.
probably better that you don't know.
Oh,
Look it up when
yeah.
you get home.
I'll look it up on incognito later.
I think the
Yeah.
epitome of that example is the difference between Teen Titans when we were growing up and Teen Titans now.
Yeah,
With
Teen
what
Titans
Teen
Go.
Titans Go
Yeah.
is.
I never watched Teen Titans, so I can't relate to this one.
Teen Titans had a story. At least from what I could remember. It was
Yeah.
like the mental battle
I mean, it's because it was
inside
based off
Robin.
comics, you know?
Oh yeah. But like there was a you could bite your teeth in
There
that
was
story.
lore in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Now
I have no idea.
now it's fart jokes.
Now it's a kids TV show.
Yeah.
The kids don't watch TV to actually care about a story. And I don't think kids
That's
really
true.
have the capacity
Because
to
like
appreciate
nowadays
a good story.
TV isn't like, that much of a thing as it was before. Because now we have things like services for or streaming services and Netflix and things like that. Shows on TV
Mm.
are as much of a thing anymore.
Yeah, cable's a dying breed for sure. I wonder if cable will ever drop off the face of the earth.
Hmm.
I kind of doubt it. No, I haven't had cable for years.
Yeah.
No, I have a satellite and
We dropped cable in middle school.
Damn, that's
Your dad was like, "All right, guys, now listen. I know you guys like watching all your you get home, do your homework, and you finish homework, and then you sit here, watch your shows or whatever. But like, how much of the shows do you really watch that we have? We have hundreds of shows. We watch 4
Yeah,
different shows
Yeah,
or 4 different channels.
that's the problem
Right.
with cable is you have to pay so much for channels that you don't even watch.
right.
But like if you want a specific channel, it only comes with that one package.
And now with this amazing thing called the internet,
Yeah.
you can get all of it without cable.
Looks like I'm gonna buy a peg leg and an eye patch because I'm about to pirate all this shit, man. That's what it's coming
Well,
down
no,
to.
because
yeah.
like a lot of the even I think back then when we switched off of cable, a lot of the like networks for children's shows had their show
Websites.
streaming on their website.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
So even then, like I think they already knew, like, yeah, this stuff's dying. The streaming stuff is skyrocketing, or market is skyrocketing, and then they start waning away from it.
Yeah.
So back to the podcast topic, I guess. Sort of similar
this is still
to
part of it.
well, yeah, it's sort of similar to what we were just talking about. But I want to bring up the toys Bakugan and Beyblades and Bionicles, the ones that had TV shows. You know,
Can't forget about Chaotic.
yeah, that too. The card ones, Chaotic was so good. And then I'm pretty like, I don't know why.
I don't know what happened to it.
I'm pretty sure it just didn't have that high of or that big of a fan base, so they
Yu-Gi-Oh
stopped.
came along, and
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I mean, it
Yu-Gi-Oh
was there
just-
before, but I think it had a resurgence.
Yu-Gi-Oh was a lot bigger than Chaotic, and I don't
Yeah.
think Chaotic was international. I think it was only American.
I literally do not
Yeah,
know
it
what
was.
it is.
I'm not too
It-
sure.
I
On
was
that.
a
It's
Pokemon
another
kid.
card game.
So think of like Yu-Gi-Oh, but like, yeah, that's about it. It's
Yeah,
like
think about Yu-Gi-Oh. That's it.
yeah, it's a little different.
Did you guys have Bakugan? Or I know Patrick and I had Bakugan and Beyblades, but what about you guys? And Bionicles?
I think I had a few Bionicles. I had a couple Bakugan with the like magnetic cards in the
Yeah,
battle
you
arena
roll 'em out.
and stuff. Yeah. And then what was the other one?
Beyblades.
Beyblade.
Beyblade.
Yeah, I had a battle arena for that, and I had like 3 of them. I think.
Yeah, a little plastic dome that you would
Yeah.
spin them in. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how many fights did you? How many Beyblade battles did you actually get in? And did you ever say "Let it rip"?
I said that all the time, but not when I was playing Beyblade. I said that outside of that, and I never actually fought anybody. I usually just fought myself, which carries on to today.
Fighting with yourself and your inner demons.
Yep.
Now the real question is, you said you're a Pokemon, kid, and a lot of people at the younger age they collected Pokemon cards and they quote unquote played Pokemon. Did you know how to play Pokemon? Because a lot of kids did not know how to play Pokemon.
I went to a daycare, like during this. I think it was during the summers out in Colorado, and we had a whole ring where we would trade Pokemon cards amongst each other, and we would battle each other with whatever we would make. At the time, I knew the rules. I don't know what they are now. I haven't played it, but I still have my collection. It's fucking massive, and probably worth a lot of money.
Eris and I, we played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh, with our older brother because he collected a lot of cards as well as Pokemon cards. But we played a lot of that, and even in college, one of our friends, he collected tons and tons of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and he's like, "Oh, you guys want to play?" I was like, "Sure." I kind of remember how to play, and he handed us different decks. And even with Pokemon, some of our other friends, they're like, "Yo, dude, I got the new Pokemon GX, whatever the hell." And I'm like, "Cool, the art looks cool."
Yeah, the art was always a really cool thing. Every generation had different art styles.
But trying to figure out the rules for all the card games ended up just being like a thing for me. That's why I just stopped playing card games. Because there was a time I knew how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering. What's another card game? There's another big
Chaotic.
Yeah.
There was a time. No. There was another big card game. I forget what it was.
I don't know.
Either way, it's just I ended up. At a point I knew how to play all of them, but then I just didn't play any of them anymore, and then just lost. So
still on the topic of Pokemon, because everybody needs to know, just so we can either shame you or say yeah. But what is your favorite starter Pokemon? What's your favorite Pokemon? And who would win in a fight between a battle between Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander, or specifically their evolutions: Venusaur, Blastoise, and Charizard?
Well, that's kind of a loaded question.
Well, yeah. Let's hit these questions one at a time.
Right,
what was the first one?
The starters.
What's your favorite starter
out of all the generations of the first three?
All the generations. What's your favorite starter?
My favorite starter. Let's see. Well, I've always liked the water Pokemons, like specifically Blastoise, but. No, yeah, he is my favorite. Man, water cannons, shit. He's literally a tank and a turtle.
The water cannons.
Yeah.
Justin, what about you?
Alright, for me, I'm gonna have to go with Turtwig, only because that's the first Pokemon game I actually played through the whole way was Platinum. So I was just the first one I picked. I was like, Fire Monkey, alright, that's kind of cool. Penguin, alright, but then you have a turtle, but then it evolves into like this thing that's like a walking mountain.
That's the other thing. That's like a mythological creature, though. Like the giant turtle with the landmass on its back.
Yup.
Oh yeah.
Because Torterra is actually like huge, huge.
Yeah, if you've seen in the Pokemon movie.
Well, I thought those were mutated.
No,
Torterras.
in the recent Pokemon movie.
Yeah, I thought those were mutated Torterras. Are they?
I thought they were just regular Torterras.
Oh.
The only one that was experimented on was Mewtwo.
Okay, never mind. I just looked it up. Torterra is 7'3", at least tall. So he's 7'3" tall, but
so he's got a little bonsai tree on his back. That's what it is.
That's a pretty big bonsai tree.
He only weighs 600 pounds. He doesn't even weigh a fucking ton. Well, I guess he's only 7 foot tall.
Yeah,
I guess elephants are bigger. But,
shell weight's pretty light.
Yeah.
But Torterra.
So he's got he's got a large bush on his back. Man, I thought he was fucking huge.
Hey man, I can get them that Ultimax form. If we're talking about the current Pokemon,
You mean
games.
the Gigantamax?
Gigantamax?
Well,
There
that's
you
not
go.
even current. They don't have Gigantamax for the current ones.
Sword and
That
Shield
was only
was
for
that,
the-
wasn't it?
I don't know. I
Man.
didn't keep up, but yeah, they had Gigantamax. But yeah, it was only for a select few Pokemon.
Mm.
All right. Well, my favorite also Turtwig, because when I played Platinum, that was my go-to dude. Like that was my main Pokemon that I used for literally every fight throughout the entire game. But I also have a really, I don't remember the name. It's a little crocodile.
Totodile.
Totodile. Yes, yeah, I want to say it, but I didn't want to be wrong.
For alligator is his evolved form, yeah.
Yeah, that I used him. I forget what generation he was in, but that was my starter. in
He's
that, and I
second
really-
gen, I think.
Second.
Yeah, because that's the generation that my favorite Pokemon or starter Pokemon is in, and mine is Cyndaquil.
Ah,
I don't
yes.
know. I just really like that Pokemon. I don't know what it is. They're just my favorite starter Pokemon.
Isn't Quilava the last?
Yes. Oh, Kolava's the
Second.
I think the second one, and Typhlosion is the last one.
Yes. See, that's a cool name though. Typhlosion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Typhlosion's the final evolution.
What's your favorite like just normal Pokemon?
Oh,
Yeah,
normal? I thought we were thinking just.
your favorite Pokemon overall, if you have one.
Favorite Pokemon overall, huh?
I mean, for me, I just know it off my head.
Go ahead.
Is it
Celebi.
still oh, okay.
Celebi? Why
Yeah.
Celebi?
If you ever watch the Pokemon movie,
Yeah.
no, watch the Pokemon movie.
With
Celebi can control time and
Yeah.
send Ash back in time. Like if I'm gonna pick any Pokemon, I want one that can send me back in time, so that way I can fix up all my fuck ups. Just saying.
Should I or should I not have told that dad joke?
Exactly. I could go back in time and tell a better one.
Celebi looks cool too.
Well, I'll know. Uh-huh.
All right. Mine. See, I have like a laundry list of Pokemon that I really like.
But if you had to pick one,
I think I have to go with Giratina, just because he's got two forms, and again, playing Platinum, I still remember the whole entire path and area that you had to go to get to this guy and to fight him. It was an experience, and it was really cool. And actually catching him felt like a pretty damn big accomplishment. So I like him, and he just looks cool. Both of his forms.
Patrick?
You know, I think I thought I really liked Absol. Absol was like really cool because he was kind of like that like pseudo legendary. He's not a pseudo legendary, but he was kind of like that pseudo legendary because he was like you haven't seen a Pokemon like him. He has that weird horn thing, and I think his Mega Evolution, he has a Mega Evolution where he gets wings and stuff, which is really cool. I think it was Dark type.
See, he was like the Eevee evolution, but like not from Eevee.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm definitely gonna have to go with Lucario. Lucario, his
What?
design was really cool.
Okay.
He was like a martial artist in the movies. He was like a really loyal, and he wasn't like a Pokemon owned by somebody. He was his own character. He was like the partner to the person. So it was really cool. I think I like Lucario.
See, I want to bring it back real quick, actually. You said Absol, and that reminded me of it's either Arceus or Arceus, which is
Right.
the
Arceus.
creator of all Pokemon.
Yeah.
That dude's badass as shit.
Literal god, yeah.
Literally
If I'm
God.
gonna go with a Pokemon, I'm gonna want one that created Celebi. So
Now
he's cool.
kind of funny that you pick quote unquote God because you think
Yeah.
heaven or whatever. But my favorite Pokemon. Now you guys didn't bring up, but I think some really cool Pokemon are Entei, Suicune, or Suicune, whichever way you want to prefer it. And what's the last one? You guys know?
Oh, man.
Don't test my knowledge on legendary Pokemon, man.
Hold on.
It's the three cats.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the
Raikou.
face is.
Raikou. It's Raikou.
Oh yeah, Raikou.
Okay.
Those
See, what
guys are
about,
really cool.
Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno.
Exactly, that's where I'm going. Because Lugia is my favorite Pokemon.
Okay.
Because Lugia is
Big hands.
quote unquote the leader of those trio. He's also the opposed to Ho-Oh. But Lugia,
Oh, or is it Ho-Oh?
it's Ho-Oh.
All right.
If you say
Yeah.
say it wrong, it's ho
But-
ho ho. It's Christmas.
I just looked it up. What Lugia is the god of in the Johto myth, and
Okay.
he is considered to be the god of the sea, the weather, and the underworld, which I thought was kind of funny to what you were saying with mine's God and mine's the god of the
Yeah.
underworld.
Yeah, he's got him in his yaoi hands.
See, I also think Rayquaza is pretty badass.
Yeah, I was
gonna say,
Rayquaza
original
is a
legendary
strong
Pokemon.
the mega evolution for Rayquaza.
Yeah.
So I don't know anything about that stuff. That's
Actually,
current.
going off of what you said before, Kyle, about the different forms, didn't Deoxys have 3 forms?
Yeah,
So-
actually, I think it was more than 3.
Well, okay, so
But
yeah.
he just looks stupid. I don't
Well-
like how he looks.
He's like a weird. Was he fabricated like Mewtwo was?
No.
Who? What?
Yeah, I have seen
Deoxys.
that.
Deoxys?
Yeah.
No,
So was he just an alien Pokemon, or
he was just a
I think
Pokemon.
so.
Let's see.
What is he the Pokemon of? He is the DNA Pokemon. So
That
I think
makes sense.
that plays into why he has the multiple forms.
Yeah, he's got a lot. I think he's definitely got a lot of forms, actually.
right?
And I think every one of them was different in the game. So, like, you would have to catch each one separately.
Yeah, he's got his normal form, his attack form, his defense form, and his speed form.
Yeah, I remember that. I never cared about him because I remember catching him in Platinum.
Mhm.
Was a whole bitch. You had to do something with meteors. And I was like, forget this. I'm not doing it. That was my first that's too much work thing in a video game.
What was my last question? There's 3. What was the last one?
List them out again. List them out.
That's
Well,
what I'm
that's-
asking. I don't
It was
Yeah, I
starter,
don't-
favorite Pokemon, and then
Who would win
Oh!
in a
Oh,
fight
yeah,
between
who
the
would
starter
win?
3 Pokemon,
yeah.
first original ones?
So for people who don't know, obviously not me, what are the first 3 Pokemon?
So the last evolutions for
Right.
the first 3 Pokemon: Charizard,
Oh, right,
Blastoise.
okay, and
Venusaur.
Venusaur.
Alright,
Yes.
well, this is my opinion. Depends. Who's going up against who?
No. You set
In general?
all 3 of them at the same time, and they're fighting.
Ooh.
I think Blastoise only because his defense stats would just carry him through.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that because I feel like...
Because if they're all just pounding on
Yeah.
each other,
Nah, I agree.
the thing with the most vitality and defense.
But have
that's
you
what
ever
happens again.
seen a solar beam?
Have you ever seen the
Yeah.
Death Battle? Because they did it.
Oh,
Really?
that's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
they did.
Death Battle
Oh.
by Rooster Teeth.
did
They
do
have
that,
done
yeah.
it.
Who did win? Probably
Um,
Charizard, huh?
Hard to believe, I guess you would say, but Venusaur won.
Huh. Well, I mean,
Mainly
I
because
guess if they keep
it's-
using Absorb.
No, it was yes that
Keep
too,
injury.
but
Yeah,
they were
Absorb is
able to
true.
use the solar beam. You know, the very heavy hitting.
He was able to do the Kamehameha.
Yeah,
Yeah, but what happens if Blastoise does Rain Dance and all of a sudden
Right.
there's no salt?
exactly. They did that in the show.
And he still won.
Yeah.
He
Because
still
he's a
won,
plant
because
and likes water.
Yeah.
But,
He just grew big and
it's-
killed everybody.
it was the math of sure his hydro cannon is a certain radius of being shot out, and it's a certain or being able to punch through steel. You can rate it at a certain psi to punch a hole through steel
Right.
with water at that size. They were able to calculate that because it's a certain amount of force that's required. But literally, solar energy to burn holes through things, I'm pretty sure required more energy and was able to burn holes through all of them. Sure, Blastoise, yes, could blow holes through them as well, but it's just the resistances of I think Venusaur and the power output, the scientific quote unquote power output of the solar beam was more powerful.
Yeah, and Jules.
I mean, it makes sense from that standpoint, I
Yeah.
guess. But
But from the
Right.
standpoints of the game, I'm pretty sure Blastoise wins.
yeah, I think so. Because Blastoise would immediately put out Charizard and just ruin him immediately. But then Venusaur, I mean,
That would be
plants like water, but they don't like too much water.
right.
So he could
Well,
just drench him.
Well, I mean, the
Aren't
thing
grass
is
types.
strong against water, or water is weak against grass. So if
Yeah.
he keeps using Giga Drain and Absorb, eventually it would just come down to a war of attrition, and whoever would be able to.
Well,
See,
the
but
plants
you're
drown
already-
in water, so
You're
Yeah.
already cutting out Charizard from attacking Venusaur.
Well, yeah, but
because Charizard's just out immediately.
Well, yeah, but that's it. That's us thinking that Blastoise hits first.
or even if he doesn't, I mean,
Yeah,
Venusaur would
Blastoise
still be
just
able to
wins.
survive a
Well,
couple
yeah,
hits.
but he can't survive against Flamethrower.
What, Blastoise?
No, Venusaur from Charizard.
Okay, well, so Venusaur's just the piece of shit. Nobody likes Venusaur. He's dead. Get him out of here.
I mean,
you,
I think
you
the
have a
main reason-
basement full of Venusaurs.
I
Yeah.
think the main reason why I cut out Charizard to begin with is just because Venusaur has the ability to get health back, and then Blastoise has just got high defense and health. So in a battle where all three of them are going to be smacking each other, the first one down is
But-
going to be Charizard.
But I'm pretty sure Charizard has the faster speed, so he would attack first.
But that still makes no difference against him and Blastoise.
But that's saying
Right.
if Charizard takes out Venusaur first because he can,
That just makes it easier for
then
Blastoise.
that would just mean that Blastoise
That would
wins.
just mean Blastoise wins.
Yeah, exactly. So I think either
Right.
way, in the logic
We
of
know
the game, it would
the
win.
fan favorite is Blastoise, even though the more expensive card is Charizard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charizard's cool, though.
Yeah, he is. But I'm not knocking him. I'm
All right,
just
we're
saying.
going
like,
to
you know,
rebrand this podcast to the Pokemon Podcast, all right?
yeah.
I
no,
don't think any of us know enough about Pokemon to do that.
No.
no, but we spent
alright.
quite a bit of time talking about
So
it, for sure.
something else. Let's
Back
see.
to old games.
Light Bright. Let's bring that up.
All right,
Oh,
light bright.
Light Bright.
Well,
Making weird
Aris, did-
things with that.
Did we used to own one?
yes,
I
we
I
did.
think we did.
We
Hey, didn't they try to remake like something like Light Bright?
No, they
Like,
literally remade Light Bright and
Oh,
released
no.
it again.
Yeah,
Oh,
they did.
shit.
Yeah.
It's exactly
Like
like Light Bright.
recently?
Yeah, recently.
No, but isn't like because I looked at Light Bright not too long ago before I came here, and it looked like that one thing where it was just a whole bunch of pegs on a board, and then you take an iron
Yes.
to the back of it, and then you'd make like pixel art.
Oh,
That's a
no,
different
thing,
I
but
do
yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, but is that
that's
the
not-
is that like the
No,
same
it's not the
concept?
same
No.
thing, but it's the same concept.
No,
yeah.
this is where it's a lit up background. They're plastic.
Oh, it's like a
pegs that
breadboard, and you just stick LEDs onto
You,
it.
you,
Yes.
you stick plastic pegs into there, and the light from the back. will,
Wasn't there
illuminate.
a template that you would
Yes.
push the pegs through,
Yes, there are templates that you could put.
No, you could. Yeah, there were.
and then
but
that would
you could
be
get
like
full
that.
black. You can get full blackboard, and then there's just a bunch of holes, and you can just put whatever colors in whichever way you want.
Yeah,
Hmm.
make
And
your
make art.
own. Make your own things.
See, that's such a cool toy.
I
I'm
mean-
glad they re-released it.
Kind of on that same topic, and this is one that I didn't remember initially. You guys. I'm sure you guys have used one before, but I don't know if you guys have ever owned your own Etch-a-Sketch.
Oh yeah,
Oh, absolutely!
Yeah, I've owned my
With the
own
little
sketch.
dials on the bottom.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Want to erase something?
Yeah, those,
Yeah.
those were banging as hell.
You guys seen the keychain ones? Like
Yeah.
literally keychain size. Those are so cool. Like I want one. Like I have a keys.
Dude.
I have a keychain.
There was one that you, instead of having dials, you just like tilted it and the thing would move.
Really?
I remember
I'm
old
pretty
Etch a
sure.
Sketches with pens too. Like it'd be like almost like a metal shaving in
Yeah,
there. and you could-
magnet thing.
Yeah, and
you
yeah,
draw
I
with
remember
it.
that.
Oh,
too.
yeah, the
And then you
magnet-
would
yeah.
swipe across.
Yeah.
and it, yeah. Damn.
Oh,
You know, they also have those the board of pins, so you can put like your hand or your
Oh,
face
Oh,
on
I
it.
had one of those, dude.
I never
Yeah,
owned one of those, but yeah. I know.
those were
Now-
weird.
I remember those, but I remember those also being at the stores, open for public use.
Yeah,
I don't
that
think
was
they were for
very much before COVID.
Well, they weren't for public use; they were on the shelf.
yes, but they
yeah,
were
and you could use them,
Yeah,
and people would put their freaking face on it. Not
And
even
people would put their face in it and not think. Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, somebody else has definitely put their face and hands all over this.
What if
thing.
somebody whipped their dick out and put it in just to see?
You know,
what
it
looks
wouldn't
like?
surprise me.
another random thing I just remembered when you were talking about keychains. I don't know if you remember, but there used to be something like about the size of a keychain thing, but it was like a thing of water with two little buttons at the bottom and rings, and you had to like squish
Yeah.
the buttons.
Oh,
and
yeah,
get the
you-
ring on the peg.
I remember those. Those were that's shit you got in like that little freaking Halloween goodie bag that you. would get
That's
at
another
school.
thing I have on the list is all those handheld things. You know,
Yeah,
the, like
the tube
the-
that goes oil.
Yeah, I remember that thing.
But no, I'm talking about like the maze, where you just tilt around the ball in the little hand.
It's like a little wood thing.
Oh,
Yeah, now they have the orbs that do that.
Yeah, they have one of those at the playground.
Oh,
Remember
yeah,
that?
yeah.
It's got hidden passages and shit.
Uh-huh.
So there was also a handheld like basketball one where you just like you press the button and it shoots little basketballs into a hoop.
No,
Yeah,
I do
you guys
remember
ever seen
that.
that?
God, there was even this little toy that you would set up, and it was like a little basketball net, and I think you hit like this little paddle,
Yeah,
and it would
and it would just
launch the
launch it. Yeah, yeah,
basketball. Yeah, that
Oh,
that stuff was cool.
That just reminded me of an old game I used to have. It was a little thing about a little bit bigger than the size of a football, except it was flat on the front and had it was almost like skee ball. Except the thing was there was a little trampoline in the middle.
Yeah,
of it,
I have
and you
that
had to
at
throw
my
a metal
house
ball
right
and,
now.
Oh,
Drop
I
it,
literally
bounce it
have that in my
Yeah.
closet.
Oh.
I actually got like pretty good records on that, but I remember you could just cheese it by just putting the balls in the like middle hole.
Oh yeah,
But that's lame.
yeah,
Yeah, I
The
have
whole
one of
thing was
those at
just
my
trying to
house,
bounce it.
literally,
yeah.
and it still talks and it still works and everything.
Wow.
It's
Yeah, I don't know
crazy.
what happened to mine. I think I broke it. To be
We
honest.
had down in our basement. We had. I don't know if we have it anymore. An old GI Joe figure, and it's one of those where there's a button on its back, and you can press it, and it talks, and it goes like GI Joe, and then it goes. What's the name of the enemies?
I
Cobra?
have no
Cobra
idea.
is like Cobra, or we must fight Cobra, or something like that. And it was so old that we'd be sitting down here in the basement, and suddenly you would hear, "Go, Joe." We're like, what the fuck was that? Here in the darkness in the basement, watching a movie, and then there's a quiet part to the movie, and then suddenly hear, Cobra. We're like, what was that?
That's hilarious. Oh my god. It's like those talking fish that you put on the wall and their batteries
Yeah.
start dying.
Oh, its battery eventually started dying. And it started sounding decrepit.
Yeah, exactly. They start sounding like they're haunted, like Satan's in them or something. It's fucking bad.
I mean, that's why we have I don't know if you can see it over there. We have a blanket over and quote unquote animatronic thing. It's a banshee that's a Halloween decoration. And our mom is like, I don't want to see it.
Oh,
You have to put something over
You
it.
got two dudes just standing in the corner when you
Well,
walk
yeah,
down the
but those are
stairs.
Star Wars figures.
But
That's a
then
banshee.
I want to see it. We got to see
We
that.
we can look at it later.
So, I just want to bring it up because I remembered another handheld thing. You guys ever play cup ball?
Cup ball.
It's a cup.
That's
on
the
a
thing with
stick
the
with a
yes,
ball
and
and a string.
Oh,
And you just try to get the ball
right.
in the cup. And
it's like a kendama but easier.
Yeah.
Ah.
that was the other thing I was gonna bring up.
Okay.
But yeah, cup ball. That was so fun.
Mm.
It was easier
really
than paddleball. It was easier than paddleball because paddleball you could hurt yourself.
Paddleball was cool though.
Wait,
I
what was
never. Oh,
paddleball?
did any of you ever? It's just a paddle with a string on a ball.
A paddle with a ball.
Yeah.
So it's like a tetherball, but except handheld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It has a
tetherball
bungee-
was
it has a bungee
badass
string.
at this playground.
You know, before we
okay.
before we go anywhere with that,
Right.
I want to bring up the little sticky hands, or like the
Yeah.
balls with the suction cups on them
Oh,
that you would
yeah.
put on your wall and it would roll down,
Mm.
things like that.
So
I
what
remember in
about
middle
those-
school,
All right.
like we had there, you could, for being good in class or like getting good grades on your assignments and whatever, or handing in homework assignments, you would get quote unquote money. You would get points that you could spend at a little store at the lunchroom while you're at lunch. You could go there, go to the little counter, and you could buy little things like little toys, erasers, maybe some like pencil holders or whatever. One of the things you could
Yeah,
get.
with Rover Bucks.
Yeah, we had rubber bucks.
Yeah, I remember that. We all went to the same middle school.
You're right, we did. I forgot.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could go there. You could get things like the little sticky hand things. Yeah.
God, I remember they actually put like a little storefront up too. That
Yeah.
was wild.
Yeah, they did, and they were
Damn,
run
I
by
remember
students.
that. Yeah, it was. They would volunteer.
Before we get into the things in middle school and high school, sort of, I want to bring up worm on a string.
Worm on a string.
Oh,
Yeah.
You guys
those things.
remember that?
Those crazy little fuzzy worm things. That were
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
called worm on a string.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah, those things. I don't know why they're so fun. I think they're still fun. It's just because it's a little worm on a string that just follows the string,
Hmm.
and it literally slithers around everything. But now to get to the meat and potatoes of middle school and such are silly bands and slap bracelets.
I was a very avid silly band collector.
Were you?
I had the Michael Jackson silly band, which was like the most sought after silly band. And I would bring that in. I'd be like, "Look at this! You've never seen this before. This is the rarest one." I would brag about it and show it off.
Yeah, you know what this is? Oh, hold up, it's a little folded up.
Yeah, you gotta make sure it actually looks like what it is. It's a little stretched out, so it's like a fat Michael Jackson. Yeah, those were cool though. Yeah. That they would like keep a shape like that.
Yeah, I really got into silly bands.
Yeah, but kids would have like hundreds on their arm.
Yeah, no, dude. I think it got like really bad to the point where, well, not really bad, but I remember people used to take off their silly bands and they used to have like a red patch. No,
there was legit like health problems.
I wouldn't be surprised if people's hands like got cut off because they were just,
There was. They didn't. I don't think anybody lost a hand, but I know there was like reports of that.
I don't know how often they washed them.
That too.
Oh, well, yeah.
Nobody ever probably cleaned them.
All of that being on your skin for a long period of time will cause some sort of infection or rash on your arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I washed mine actually. I was one of those kids.
I don't think I ever really collected them. I think I had a few, but that was just because I got some. I was like, oh, cool, I have some. Nice.
Yeah.
That was it, though.
I picked mine up off the ground.
Yeah.
That's how I got them.
You were the scavenger kid. Yep. You were the poor kid. Kids looking around. Hey, I got silly bands and Jen's over there. Sneaking around, scrapping around on the ground.
Not that I was poor. It was like, why am I going to buy them if there's so many free ones on the ground?
Yeah, that's pretty true.
That's just...
They were cheap, though.
Yeah, I know, but like, why would I spend even a penny?
Yeah.
There's like 10 of them on the ground.
Why would you pay for them when you can get them for free?
You know why you pay for them? Because nobody's going to drop the Michael Jackson.
Nobody's gonna
No one's going to drop that one. So you need to
get the Michael Jackson silly band. If they do, their week is ruined.
Exactly. They're going to go home and they're going to cry to their mom and say, I need more silly bands.
We need to go to the store right now.
Yeah.
Mom, I need my fix.
And then they'll say that we don't have enough gas. And
okay. So, I want to fast forward. I want to fast forward all the way to college. For me and Patrick specifically. So we were in our college soccer team, and when we got home from a game one night, we were waiting for our coach to open up the door so we could put all our bags and equipment away. And we were actually coming home from an away game, and we got in the door before him because he had to pay the bus driver and so on and so forth. So we were just sitting there in the hall waiting for him for 5-10 minutes.
I know where this is going.
We had some 2-liter bottles because we had pizza and some drinks. And I don't know if you guys... Yeah, we had a paper plate. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those videos of people with like those toy squeak hammers, or even a 2-liter bottle, an empty 2-liter bottle, and they smack them over people's heads. You do the rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And the loser has to pick up the plate and put it over the head before the other person smacks him over the head. But we didn't really use the plate that much afterwards. We just played rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and the person lost. They would take the bottle and smack the person over the head. Mind you, we're talking about like 20-somethings playing this game in the hallway of a college, waiting for our soccer coach to come back in.
And then our soccer coach comes around the corner hearing...
Us laughing our asses off while it's like probably like 9 p.m. or something.
I'm pretty sure it was you and I that came up with starting to play that game.
We did. Because we knew some people that would do it, and then we eventually got almost everybody to start doing it.
See, that right there just shows that you never really grow up. That's shit you do in elementary school, but you do it in
was
college.
Our second year of college.
Yep.
Still.
Yeah, I mean, in middle school and probably high school, maybe. No, not most of high school. Maybe the first year of high school. We played the pain game on the bus.
Oh.
Yeah, we
God.
played rock paper scissors shoot as well.
Oh.
But if you won with rock, you would punch the loser.
Uh-huh.
If you won with paper, you would slap the other loser's hands. You can't slap him in the face because it's school.
That's
You
assault.
can't slap him in the face.
Punching
And
is
scissors, you would
definitely not
slap them in the arm.
On the inside, right?
Yeah, on the inside of the arm, right where it's tender.
Uh-huh.
We used to play it in the lunchroom, but
The what?
they didn't.
The penis game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whoever go
Mhm.
back and forth, whoever yelled the penis.
you
the
know,
loudest.
I've never played that game until college.
Yeah.
That was like a middle
Our
school
one
thing for
friend, we were out on vacation,
Mhm.
I think, and our one friend
Was adamant.
was adamant that we play the penis game. It was the two girls. They're like she was like, I'll for well, I mean they're not like they might know if they find out who we are, but I'll use other names than their names. We'll say Anna and
Anne Marie.
and Anna and Marie. So Anna was like, Marie, we gotta play the penis game. Marie's like, well, you bet your britches we're playing the penis game. And then they start off quiet. We're out in public. I think we were probably was this in Atlantic City? Maybe, I don't know. We probably did it
I
there
just
too.
remember some
I'm
kind
pretty
of
sure it
beach.
was.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was.
We're in Atlantic City, and Anna's like, penis. Marie's like, penis.
me.
Immediately just goes up the scale. And then they're like, oh, this is that kind of game. And then they look at us like, oh, we're supposed to participate too. And the thing is, we're walking with them, so now we don't want to just associate with some weirdos shouting penis on the
Some
street at the
hooligans.
beach.
It was also
There's
nighttime.
kids around.
There's kids
dark
around.
out.
Well, kids will know what a penis is eventually.
Well, hey,
Oh, yeah.
you know, if you start them too young, then people start calling you a pedophile, and you get put on a list, and then all of a sudden you can't go by a school zone, and it's just a
It's
bad
a
thing.
snowball effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're old enough to get put on a
Start.
list now, so
Yeah, just don't. But yeah, so you know that was one hell of a summer vacation. Speaking of summer vacations, you guys go on any as a kid? Like,
Yeah.
way back.
I mean,
No.
yeah. And we went to we've been to Ocean City, Maryland, and Atlantic City as well.
I feel like that doesn't
Like
happen
places
very
in
much
Virginia.
anymore.
Like kids going
Well,
on vacation.
COVID
Well,
exists.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now
but
is
even-
COVID, but before,
I don't know. I just don't really.
maybe it's just because people are like
Poor.
younger adults are poorer
Oh.
than the adults back. Like even though like back then, poor is different than now,
Right.
but it was more affordable with a dead end job than it is now.
I'm pretty sure it's also because the timeshare industry is a lot smaller now than it was back then.
See, every time I hear somebody bring up a timeshare, I always think it's a scam.
I
Like,
always
because
think
it
of the
is. People,
SpongeBob
people
episode.
don't want a timeshare. It's only not a scam if you use it all the time.
Yeah,
If you use it for your share of time.
touche.
I just think of that SpongeBob episode.
Which one?
The
It was
timeshare
like-
one.
Yeah, they bring SpongeBob to an island and they try to sell him a timeshare. I can't describe the episode. It's very fuzzy.
Man,
but
the
it's
only
fun.
thing I remember from SpongeBob is like, it's a rock.
It's
It's not a boulder.
The pioneers used to ride these babies for miles.
You know, that's actually based off of I forget which salt lake or dry bed it is, but there is a place in the world where there's rocks on like a riverbed that's been dried out.
Oh yeah, they
And it
moved.
has
they
like a-
move, yeah.
The physics girl on YouTube has a video, pretty new video, that apparently
I remember
they
seeing-
solved why that happens.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it 'cause I don't really care. But,
they solved it. We know this.
yeah.
They solved why rocks.
The pioneers used them.
Or like the Krusty Krab pizza.
Is the pizza for you and me? It starts beatbox.
And
Oh man. I love
Right.
SpongeBob.
So there's two more general areas of toys that I wanted to go to. I'll go to one first. Hot Wheels, monster trucks, and of the sort.
it's like toy car things.
Well, let me go on to that one. So I like cars now, and I kind of credit that to me as a kid because I have like 4 collector boxes full of Hot Wheels, and then I have a whole tub full of like monster trucks. And when I was a kid, I had a sandbox, and I used to make like rally courses and like monster truck arenas in that, and like take the monster trucks through it. It was really cool, so fun. I remember that very vividly.
Yeah, no, for me, sorry. You want to go?
Go ahead.
Should I?
No, go ahead.
Cool. All right, so I was into Hot Wheels. I wasn't like into Hot Wheels, but I had Hot Wheels. I had a bunch of cars. I don't remember them. It was more like just random stuff I used to do with them because they had wheels, right? So I could just set up random stuff in the kitchen and then just put them at the top and just watch them go.
Oh yeah.
You know? I didn't like do anything with them. I didn't really care about how the cars looked. I care about what they did. And then
which one rolled better?
Yeah.
Or rolled straight.
Yeah.
And then in the Scouts, we had Pinewood Derby races.
I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah, so you had to make your own Pinewood Derby car and whittle it down and everything. And
Yeah, and all
weights.
those weights.
Yeah.
I still have mine.
I think I have a couple of mine as well.
Mine was a winner, and I still have it. I have a trophy.
If it wasn't a winner, I wouldn't keep it. I'd throw it in the trash.
Yeah, I did, legit. Though.
Mine didn't win first place, but they won all the categories. It was like most
Best
interesting.
looking.
Yeah. Yeah. One of them
Has a knife attached to it. Most interesting.
Most dangerous.
Yeah. No. We called it nuts and bolts, and that's because instead of weights, we just glued nuts and bolts to it.
Well, that's aerodynamic as hell.
Yeah.
Put a huge pair of balls on it.
It didn't win
Truck
first
nuts.
place, but it won a category, and I got a trophy for it. And I was like, yes.
That one got most offensive because it had truck nuts coming off the back.
No, they were all over. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It was like a hooker on a Friday night. Okay?
That's why it didn't win because it didn't roll. It just stood there.
It rolled. It was just slow.
The nuts were dragging on the ground.
It kind of rattled. They had to retouch the course up with a little bit of paint after mine went, but it's fine.
Banging into all the walls and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cub Scouts was something.
Mm.
Making fires in the woods and shit. Camping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was fun as hell.
You made it sound so irresponsible.
I don't think Cub Scouts are
Well, I mean,
a thing. Are they?
Cub Scouts is still a
Boy
thing.
Scouts, I know is.
Well, no, I thought it was Scouts BSA now. They had to change it.
Whatever.
Yeah, I know.
We
but
won't
they
get
just
into
changed
that.
But yeah, no,
I'm
it
from
was
a
kind
simpler
of
time.
irresponsible, but not really, because it was like you just did it as a pack, or no, you did it as
No,
a
it
pack.
was a very controlled situation. They would give you like a couple sticks and some like, dry grass or something, and
Oh,
you
you
would
to start a fire.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about.
They taught
fire
you
with
how
baby.
to start. Oh, no, they would teach you like you would go camping,
Right.
and like one of your parents would come with you,
Right.
and you'd do like camping stuff where you'd make a fire, cook food, stuff like that. They taught you how to like survive in the wilderness.
A lot of the daytime was instructional, and the nighttime was practical. So it was like in the daytime they'd show you like, okay, if you're looking for dry wood, you're not gonna try to pick up some dead logs to look for something dry, because that's usually where it keeps all the moisture. Kind of look for stuff on the surface. So if you're looking for dry grasses and stuff like that, you don't really want to dig down for it. You just kind of want to feel it on the surface.
Right.
And if you're ever going across something where you can't see what's underneath there, grab a stick and stick it in there first, because you want to get bit by whatever in there.
When we went to that the one cabin with everybody in New York, when we went exploring in the woods, there were some fallen down trees that were like mossed over and a bunch of stuff grown over it. That if you stepped in it, you would fall right into the log. And it was like soft, like really soft log. But some of them you couldn't tell because they're covered in moss, which one was good or not. But we went around exploring there, and there was like this weird it's called witch's honey or something like that, which is something, and it's a fungus, and which apparently is harmless. I looked it up afterwards because I found it and I was like, this is bright, and it's like a bright yellowish orange. I was like, that kind of looks like it's probably something that's poisonous.
Yeah.
Let's not go around this area, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. And I looked it up later. It was completely fine. Some people actually use it in food.
Hey, but better safe than sorry, man.
Yeah,
Better safe than
especially
sorry.
with shit with that color.
Yeah. Especially something that's like neon yellow.
Yeah, right. You find a frog in the forest, stay away, or lick it.
Yeah.
Depends on what you want to do. Why are you in the forest? You want to take a trip?
What's your favorite rocket ship?
Yeah, flying through the stars.
Whoa.
I feel like kids shows were more educational back then, man.
But they were banging. Like
They were.
That Little Einstein's Trap remix, dude. Come on, that's like one of the greatest songs of all time.
Dude, the Magic School Bus with Miss Frizzle.
Mitch
Frizzle. With Mixed Frizzle.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
my syllables got all mixed up. Forgive me.
Mitch.
Is her brother Mitch Frizzle?
What's up, Mitch?
Yeah, man.
Childhood was something. It really was.
I don't remember what there was like a math one. There was like a little bird that looked weird. Let me see if I can find it.
I mean, there's like those websites that you used to use in school, like Cool Math Games. Armor
Cool House
games.
Rock too was another TV show.
Cool House. School
Schoolhouse.
This one,
What's up with you
Cyber
right
Chase. I don't know if you guys
Man.
remember that.
What is it? Psy Kids?
Cyber Chase.
No, I do remember
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
So moving towards websites, sort of on to my second topic that I was saying. You guys know Webkins.
Never played it, but yes.
Yeah,
And
things
then
like
also
Webkins or
Club Penguin.
Club
yeah.
Penguin,
Yeah.
Wizard 101.
Wizard
all that
101.
kind
What
of
was that?
shiz.
What was
Yo, I want to bitch for a second
Pop
about
Tropica.
Wizard 101. Pop Tropica.
All right,
bang.
hold on. We need
Wizard
to let him
101
bitch.
sucks ass, okay? Because you
People
play
still play it.
I know somebody that still plays it. It's stupid as
What
shit.
the fuck?
You have to pay for that game. You play it, and it's like pretty cool.
Wait, it's not free to play anymore?
No.
No.
So when
Oh.
you think it is, and you start playing it, and it's like, oh wow, this is actually kind of cool. I'm like progressing through the game, and then you hit a point, and it's like, all right, you gotta start paying us now.
Mhm.
I'm like, fuck you, I don't want to do that.
No, dude. What? Like I thought it was free to play, so I started playing it, and this happened to me. But luckily, I was fine with the mana regen or whatever it is. But like, I saw somebody who was stuck in a fight because they didn't have any spells left, and they were just waiting there because you have to wait. That's just the thing. Like, it's
You don't wait your
ridiculously
turn.
long. No. The thing is it just takes a while for you to just regain. I forget what you use in that game, but if you're not pay to play, or you don't go into a battle with all your resources full, you can get stuck there.
Well,
And then you
I
just wait.
bet you it's changed. Like,
Probably. Well, no. That
Recent.
was like a couple years ago in college.
oh
Yeah.
wow, playing Wizard 101.
What
Oh, yeah,
about-
it was free? I was like,
What about something like, if you guys ever played RuneScape?
Fuck yeah,
Yes.
dude, that shit was amazing. I played that shit. in
was
elementary.
the
this game came
bomb.
out on your phone, I think.
Yeah, they had a remastered and a one on the phone.
Yeah.
But the OG one was definitely best, considering that they came out with the new one, the remastered one, and then they're like, you know what? We're just gonna come out with RuneScape Old School or whatever they called
Old
it.
school
Old school
RuneScape.
Yeah.
OSC.
Yeah, and then
Or
they're like,
no, ORS.
and they're like, yeah, it's just the old game, but you know, on a new system,
No,
new thing.
I-
It runs better now.
RuneScape was like a pretty big part of my elementary school time because I remember in the computer lab, my dad was the custodian at my elementary school, and one of the other custodians, I believe, his name was Todd, and we would all play RuneScape in the computer lab, and Todd was one of those paying people that had like, he was like level 104. He had like the dragon armor, and my dad was like
Yeah.
level 60, and they would all make me armor. And I really remember they made me mithril armor, and
Yeah.
then they upgraded me to adamantium or whatever it was armor, and it was just badass. I was like level 46, and I thought that was really cool.
I remember going in there, and then there's like the big market of players.
Yeah.
Like they were like, "Oh, I'm selling this stuff. I'm selling this stuff," and you go. I just went in there to grind
Yeah,
because I really loved the action RPG games that you could play. Those are so much fun. Or
I thought-
MMORPGs.
the progression was really awesome in that game because you want a wood cut? Well, guess what? You can chop oak trees, but then it's like, oh, you need to level up and you need to get a better axe to cut willow trees.
But first, you need to
And-
level up your mining so that way you can get the
Yeah.
material
Yeah.
to get that better
Yeah.
axe.
yeah, but it was cool. I liked the progression. Pretty bad.
Yeah. It was fun.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know a lot of games like that, the market system was pretty open. So if you wanted to be a lumberjack, you could just do wood. And if you needed that axe, you could just trade enough wood to get
Yeah,
the gold
you
to
definitely
buy
could
the
do that.
axe
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then just keep on going. And I know they try to do that with current games, but I don't know if they're taking off as well as
I don't know. But yeah.
RuneScape just is one of those games It's one of the first MMOs,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just got a special place in people's hearts. So I think that one is truly well.
And the music was banging.
I don't even remember that shit.
Dude, there's so many, like, nowadays there's some memes about some of the songs in RuneScape because it had a resurgence with the remastered version than the old school remastered.
It's still pretty massive.
Yeah.
Maybe not as big as WoW, but
Wow.
yeah. So
Anyways,
what was
what's
that
your
kid
question?
in the vacuum thing?
What?
What was that cat with the vacuum Xbox game?
Oh, yeah.
I need to know what this is.
Okay, so
Cat
we're
with a
going
vacuum.
into classic video games, and we're talking like maybe early 2000s, like 2000, early 2000s kind of games. And there was this, I think it was either Korean or Japanese, I forget what studio made it, but it's called Blinks. And it's a time cat with a vacuum cleaner. And the whole thing is you go through the levels, and yeah, Blinks the
Cleaning
time
up
sweeper right there.
crime.
No, you have to fix time, and the monsters that are in the world they're trying to corrupt the timeline,
yeah.
and you have to go through and beat them and
Yep.
do things perfectly.
It looks familiar.
And
Was
this,
this made by the same people that made, like, what was it?
I don't know, but there's certain like items that you have to pick up in a certain order, and if you got 3 in a row, then you got that power up, and then you could activate that power up to pause time, slow time, rewind time. And it was just one of those games where you had to play forward and backwards, multi-dimensional all the time. Because like there'd be certain points in the game where you'd have to go forward to get to like the rewind, but then you'd have to back up to get the stop time, to then go to the right point, stop time to cross the bridge before it falls. It was like,
That's weird.
yeah, because the rewind was only down, and you couldn't stop time until you got to the stop time, but you had to wait for the bridge to fall, go down, get the rewind, go back, get the stop, rewind time, stop time, and then go across. It was just one of those games that were just bleh.
See, I just think old games.
Old
they're-
games definitely had a lot of thought to them.
Yeah, I think they're better than new games in some ways.
All right, so one of the games that always holds a place in my heart, and I know I end up talking about this all the time, but Kingdom Under Fire. If Heroes and Crusaders could just get a remaster with today's graphics, that'd be great. That'd be great. You know, it's just one of those games because just every time you play that game is a new game because you could play it so many different ways. That's the beauty of it. I think that was the beauty of a lot of the old games where you could play them any way you wanted to. You know, it wasn't so handholdy.
Yeah, I never played it.
Blinks or
Kingdom Under Fire.
yeah, no, it's an cult following. It's very.
I remember Eston and I. Eston's one of our friends, by the way, for those of you who don't know. We were way back before Kingdom Under Fire 2. That came out in the Asian market first.
Correct.
Yeah, so they were going to release it in the Western market, and you know, we were looking into it. We were like super excited for it, and then it ends up coming out and it's a flop. So that sucked. Honestly, we were really looking forward to that.
They changed so much of the mechanics, and they tried to make it more MMO than RTS, hack and slash, that it kind of lost. Or not MMO. RTS hack and slash. Then it just kind of lost what it was or why I played it. Because the original games was very much an RPG, RTS, hack and slash. And I feel like they tried to do that, but they broke it up into 3 different things. Rather than, yeah, that's fine.
It's you and me.
No, that's fine. Yeah, they broke it up into 3 separate things rather than having it be meshed together. And that was just one of those things. It just, it didn't sell for me. So.
That's one thing I'm glad about was, the Western release of Lost Ark. I know there's a lot of controversy with that.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. I mean, we got basically a version that isn't up to date with what the, I guess, Eastern version is.
Well, I mean, it just released in America, so I didn't really expect it to be.
Well, that's where it's just weird. But
we're also getting the glaive person first, and that
and then next month the Destroyer comes out, and then guess what happens next month, Pat?
The Painter.
The Painter comes
Hell
out.
yeah! I can
wait.
finally
The Painter's
play.
coming out in 3 months. Or
That's
no,
what
it's
I've
just
read on Reddit.
3 months
so take that
after.
with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
It's
but-
the next person after the destroyer,
Yeah, so May is the destroyer.
but we don't
April
know.
is the glaive.
Yeah, but we don't know if the next month is the painter. It's just the next character.
That's rumored.
Yeah.
Is that June will be.
So this
the
is all
painter.
speculation.
Well,
Alright.
I don't. It might be.
I mean, hey,
accurate. I just read it on Reddit,
Mm.
and Reddit isn't always right.
the
So
new character released for League of Legends. The rumors guess the next 3 characters. So
Oh well,
Wow.
you know, I'm just saying, rumors. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
Not that I don't believe
man.
rumors, but I'll believe
back
it
to
when I see
old website games, things like Pop Tropica, man.
it. Yeah.
I've played so many hours on that, like 100% in all the maps.
Mhm. No, I did for the longest time, and then I kept up with it. I forget what island it was, but one day I forgot my username and password, and that was it. I just stopped playing.
Yep.
Because there was no way I was gonna get through all the islands again, back to where I was, because I went through so many islands.
Mhm.
So many islands.
I don't remember that game. I remember playing it, but I don't remember like.
So each island kind of
Anything
gave you
about
like
it.
a superpower, not superpower, but each island had its own theme. You know, sometimes it was. I think the first one was you had to Jack and the Beanstalk. Was that the first one?
I don't remember.
But I know there was a superpower one.
There might be a
there's
different
spy
thing
one.
about it, like different way it starts now,
Right.
because
Right.
there's been a lot of updates to it.
But
well,
it
I
was
don't know
just
if it's
it was
still
just
a
a
thing
puzzle
anymore,
game.
but-
You pretty much just had to go through and just solve puzzles.
Wasn't
Yeah.
it like you would get clothes for your character? And
Yeah, you could.
I
That was
don't
one way
remember
to
what
do
the
it.
point of playing it was, but I remember like there was actually something
Yeah.
where it's like, "Whoa, you have that? That's so cool."
Yeah,
Well,
that means
everything
you beat
was-
this island,
Yeah, everything
Yeah,
was island
so-
discovery, pretty much.
like the space suit.
Mhm.
You did the space stuff.
I don't remember shit about that. I played it, but I didn't really play it. You know,
There were also other websites that were more in the later 2000s, I guess, but later 2000s as in still before 2010.
Mm.
But like Adventure Quest or the other Quest things, because there were other ones as well made by the exact same people. There's Adventure Quest 2, and then there's some other ones made by the same people that had to do with like mechs, and then another one that had to do with like martial arts and stuff. I was like, man, I played the shit out of all of them.
see, I might have, but I don't remember.
Can we talk about Shockwave and like Crazy Monkey games and Fog and Armor games? Is that what they were?
Yeah, armor game.
All the different.
Wait, what? Shockwave, was that a website?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Shockwave was a website for Flash games. And just all the Flash games that used to be on there.
See, that's one thing that sucks is
Flash
Flash
gone.
games are gone forever.
Yeah, I remember playing it. You remember
Oh man, wait.
in high school? You remember playing .io games?
Well, I mean,
Those
people
were
still do.
massive on
Yeah.
YouTube. They fucking
Yeah.
blew up.
Yeah, Agario.
Yeah.
Agario was the first one, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
What
Blew
was
up.
Slither IO was another one.
Slither.io. Yeah.
Narwhalio?
There's some pretty cool ones though. To be fair,
Mm-hmm.
dude, I might.
This is tickling a very. We're looking up Adventure Quest on the side, and it's knocking my memory. Not gonna lie.
I genuinely think this is a game that I have very fond memories of in my head, but I just never could think about it.
Mm.
No,
Adventure World. That's Adventure Quest World. That's another one I played a lot.
yeah, no, I didn't play that. It looks pretty similar to a game that I know of, but it's not a game.
You know, a Flash game that I put a lot of hours into this Flash game. It's called Castaway.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah.
game.
Castaway
That's
and
such
Castaway
a good
2.
game.
Yeah.
Congregate.
It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't matter. I played it on Shockwave, I think. Or,
That
no,
was
I
a
played it on Armor Games.
fantastic game.
Yeah.
Because it
Yep, that's it.
the sense of progression in that was like actually really good.
It was so good.
It was
Such a
terrible
good
when your
game.
pet died, man. Have you ever had your pet
No,
die?
I didn't.
Oh, yeah, when your pet dies, that's it, man. Then you gotta get a new pet. You gotta get a new egg, put it in the hatchery, get it to hatch, and
Level up.
then level it up. Yeah, that was a rough
I wonder if this game's on Steam.
It's
Maybe.
not like I wouldn't look. I get it if it was like $1, but
I don't really remember it like that much, but I do remember playing it like
Yeah, no.
quite a bit.
yeah, you can get spells. There's magic. There's
Yeah,
it's
the combat wasn't bad.
yeah.
This was for a Flash game. It's
Mhm. But yeah, no, Castaway, man. I remember that game. That game was a game.
Yeah.
I was in that game. And then when we heard, at least me and my sister, when we heard Flash games were getting gone, that's what we did. until Flash games were gone. We beat all of Castaway 1 and most of Castaway 2. She beat Castaway 2, I didn't. But we both beat Castaway 1. And then, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there are places to play Flash games still.
Oh, yeah, but
I don't know where that is.
Yeah.
But again, our friend Eston, he knows all this stuff.
Yeah.
He's one of those people.
Oh, no.
What about games like have you guys ever played the original Diablo first one, Diablo 2?
No, I played the absolute shit out of Diablo 3. That's probably one of my most played games of all time. I love that game.
Did you play it on the PC or PlayStation?
Both.
Both.
I also played it on the Switch too, dude. That's how much I like the game, as I bought it that many times. But no, I think on PS4, I remember this is a great memory with Eston and I. We played it, and we didn't know anything about sets. We just were like, "Oh, a legendary item." We saw a green item drop. We're like, "That's fucking garbage." Like, the stats on it suck ass. Why would we use that over the? We'd use the green arrows and shit.
Then you break it down.
Yeah, legit. But we would get set items, and we would just say they're ass. But we would get legendary items, and if they were better than what we used, we would use that. And we were like maybe doing Torment like 1. And we're like, damn, we're really strong. We're kicking ass. But then eventually, I think when I got on PC, I ended up learning all of the set stuff and ended up getting to like 900 Paragon, which isn't that much. But
I remember like when it was just released, and like towards the beginning, I was like a very high damage dealer as a demon hunter.
It's my favorite class.
And I would be doing like each bolt, and you shoot a lot of bolts, would do like 2 million, 5 million, 6 million.
That's nothing. You gotta hit in the billions.
Yeah, now garbage. Because back then, yeah, sure. When the game released, that was the highest you'd ever see.
I never played it on release. I played it like quite a bit after. I know it was shrouded in controversy on release because the way the auction house worked.
Never used it.
All I'm saying is this is living proof right here of power creep. That's what happens.
Yep.
I know.
Yeah, dude, I'm doing 1 million damage. Yeah, I'm doing 1 billion damage.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, that power creep's a massive thing in games because, I mean, a good example I can bring up would be World of Tanks.
Yeah.
So I think it was the T-54 Russian medium tank was like insane back in the day. It was so fast that it was called the UFO, and the game's netcode wasn't good enough to actually render how fast it went. So you would shoot at it, but it actually wouldn't be there. So that was like a really insanely good tank. Nowadays, it's just average. You know, it's good, but it's not like the best. Yeah, it's just another one. But that's normal. I mean, I don't have a problem with games being like that, really.
Well, yeah, no. It's like, it depends. It's just the way the gaming market is, you see that more prevalent just because the games are designed to be, I guess, constantly updated.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't have very many games anymore.
It has to be balanced.
It's the games as a service plan.
Right.
Which is bad, but also good.
But yeah, I mean, because back then it was primarily just one-shot games.
Well, you would buy a game and you would get the game.
Right.
Yep.
And then DLC came about, where you'd buy the game, you'd get the game, but then they'd make extra content. And that's like, holy shit, that was awesome. Sure, I had to pay for the content, but yeah, whatever. That's fine. And then they started selling you like half a game. And then the DLC, quote unquote, would be the other half of the game.
What's all this other stuff over here that I can't get to?
Yeah, and nowadays you have shit like Battlefield 2042, where you bought like a beta test for full price, or even more if you are dumb like me and bought the $100+ version. But then,
did you get the game for free afterwards, or no? You still
I don't think they ever did that. They didn't do refunds or anything like that I know of. I might have been.
So you paid for the beta and you didn't get the game, like the.
Game. I paid for the game. The game released, and it was basically you're just buying a beta because like it's so unfinished and just terrible.
Okay, I see what you mean.
And now they're scrambling to update it and add what should have been in the game from the first. That shit is so dumb. Like, that should not be acceptable at all in the market.
You know, I mean, like, we would play games back then, like, what were some of the couch games that we played? Like Fusion Frenzy. I don't know if you know what that is.
What about Feeding Frenzy? with the fucking fish. Remember
Oh
that?
yeah,
You would
yeah,
progress
yeah,
through
yeah,
the
on the
map.
computer,
Yeah, I
yeah.
played that on the Xbox 360 on this fucking really small little CR TV, dude. When my cousins came up, that was banging. And then I bought it on PC.
Yeah, we had
I
this.
played
We
it
had
again.
this game called Fusion Frenzy, which is like Mario Party. It had a tournament mode and then a mini game mode. But like, I feel like that's a niche game that not many people know about. That honestly, today it would hold up as an amazing game.
Right.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. I played Mario Party, but I never played
All
that game.
Pretty much Fusion Frenzy was just minigame after minigame after minigame. And it was a point based system. So the more points you got, the more likely so how does it work? So you play a couple mini games, and then
Imagine Mario Party without rolling and a board.
Yeah. So there's 6 sections of the map, and then you play in one section of the map, and that has a certain library of mini games that you can play. And if you win or got the most points, you can give yourself an advantage for the end game, for the end round. And then if you got your advantage, you'd get more orbs to spawn in your color, and the more orbs you picked up and deposited, the more points you got for the total end game sum.
Yeah, the more you could gamble at the end.
Yeah.
But
it was
the
just
thing is-
basically just a bunch of mini games that you could play, and it was an edgier version. You could literally beat each other up.
Oh yeah, that was the
You
thing of the
had
game.
specific like your character had specific weapons for themselves that they
Yeah,
would
I've
use for
never
certain
played
game
this.
modes.
Yeah.
It's an amazing game. Honestly, if it had a rebooted version,
those games
so
with
many
each other.
people would play it.
Well, we should play it. Try to get that and play it. Why not?
I'm pretty sure there is a reboot.
There might be.
There might be. But Twisted System, man. I got really good at Twisted System to the point where
Fusion Frenzy 2.
I got really good at Twisted System to the point where I could play the AI on like the hardest difficulty and I'd still win. And I was like, I could never make it to the end of Twisted. Pretty much Twisted System is just 2 buttons. You have your A button and your B button as you jump and duck.
What did you play it on? Like when
The
you
original
Xbox.
Xbox.
Oh,
Yeah.
We had a big CRT TV back there. You can't see it in the video or in the podcast, but back there in our basement, we had a big one that sat right there, and we would play on there.
And then also Halo, the original Halo, and Halo 2.
Dude, I used to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 on a CRTV in my fucking bedroom with the Xbox. And it needed one of those AV cable adapters just to work. That shit was crazy.
Oh, speaking of old games, it just reminded me on, I think, my NES, for those of you guys who would like playing Dark Souls, the original Dark Souls.
Demon Souls?
No, Ghosts and Goblins.
Oh. No, I never played that, but I know about it.
I love playing that at MagFest.
Yeah, that game is cancer. It's one of those games where it's pretty much just get good scrub, and that's how they play it. Yeah, Ghosts and Goblins. That's what it is. That's the cover art. There's not a lot of save points, and you have to make it through pretty much a whole level before you get a save point.
Right.
And you get I think 2 or 3 lives.
They would similar to Dark Souls. They would have a spawn point, and it would happen the same way every time. You just have to progress, die, learn how you died, and then relive it.
Well, but here's the kicker: if you died twice, you had to restart the game.
Yeah, well, that is just classic to the NES. That
Right.
bullshit. All of those games were like mega hard for no reason, and that was geared towards kids.
Yep.
No wonder that generation is,
so good at games.
insane.
I mean, this was also a cabinet game. So like we played this at a convention on a cabinet, and it was really fun. I mean, similar with a bunch of the other retro games like Galaga or 1948. I don't know if you remember that one we had at Penn State.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So 1948 is pretty much a bullet hell. You're an airplane
In World War II.
Yeah, and you just have to pretty much go as far as you can.
Yeah, it's basically Galaga, but with in World War II.
Yep. Except it doesn't matter if the planes make it past you.
Yeah.
What
you just
about
have to survive.
like Atari though?
The Atari. The only thing I've ever played on Atari is Pong.
See that's the first ever game, isn't it? Yeah, that's a banger. It's one of the best games ever made.
Literally a banger. You just
And
bang a ball against
in
the
college,
metal.
we were drunk enough. We were playing Jenga, and after it fell down, we were like, "Oh damn, we gotta clean the table now." And then while we were cleaning the table, I was lining some up, and I was like, "Wait a second." And then I lined some up in like a shape, and then I was like, I looked at Elijah, the other guy, and I was like, I took one. I was like, "Do you know where I'm going with this?" He's like, "I think I do." and he takes them, and we just played it. I would move it, or he would move it, so I would move the bottom board, right? And this was what's it called? Brick break. Basically.
That
yeah,
game.
Brick break.
Yeah.
That's a good
And
game.
I would slide it across the bottom, and someone would control where the Jenga piece ball would go, and someone would control taking away the pieces.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that. Brick Break was fun.
Just with like all of the 6 hands on the table, moving
Including
Jenga.
power ups.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Speed boosts and adding more balls, man.
Yeah, but adding more balls is like kind of a pseudo debuff.
Yeah.
Because it makes it faster, but
Especially when you get the
have
speed
to-
up.
Yeah.
And
When
the
you get the
balls
power ball that,
quote
like-
unquote move through each other. The
Oh,
only thing they
yes.
bounce off of is the walls and Patrick's
Yeah.
paddle.
It was getting a little too much because 1, someone would have to drop the power ups, and 2, that same person would have to take away the ones that were hit.
Well, what was the ball?
The ball were so they
Is it
were
marble?
everything was made of Jenga pieces.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It was fun. We have a video. I'll show you.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Have you guys played any other cabinet, like retro cabinet games, like
Ah.
Donkey Kong or what's another one? Bomberman, Pac-Man.
I played all those, but not in cat.
Mm.
I forget how to spell it. Xevius, maybe.
Oh, is that another Galaga one?
Oh,
no,
yeah,
it
no,
was-
this
it
is
was-
this is
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, Xevius. I forget how to spell it. Xevius.
Yeah, Xevious.
I did spell it right. Yeah, no, that's a.
Is it an
that's-
RPG?
No, it's a. What is it? It's like Galaga, but you are a plane, a ship kind of thing, and you have like a normal gun that you could shoot by hitting one button, and then you could shoot a bomb with the other button, and you pretty much have to fly over an alien planet and destroy it. And it's one of those old games for the Nintendo Entertainment System as well.
Nintendo.
I remember
Yeah. Yes.
our rich cousins up in Canada. They have a 4-player Pac-Man where you have it's a big table and you have 4 different sections. You might see them at Dave and Buster's or similar locations nowadays, but it has 4 locations and 4 people can play at the same time. It was pretty cool. First time I've ever seen something that big as a arcade cabinet game, because most of the ones I've seen are either single player or maybe you'd see more recently now like 2-player ones where they have one person on each side of the thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
want
that's the other one I played.
to back to
Commando?
actually I think we'll quote unquote go forward in time. Things that we would use outside.
You remember that there was like a ring you put around your ankle, a stick, and a weight at the end. You'd have to like
Yeah,
flick
to
around your
skip
leg.
it.
Yeah, those things.
Yeah, I never did that. What about Bop It?
Dude,
Bop
Bop It.
Freaking
We
Bop
have
It.
a Bop It somewhere down here.
That shit was banging. The beat is amazing. Unmatched. Unrivaled by any. Best music ever created.
You ever hit the end of Bop It?
Anybody high scores?
I think
Scores?
I 70
High
something.
scores on what's the highest level
70.
of difficulty?
Oh.
No difficulty.
So there's novice, something, and then master, and then there's a secret mode, expert.
I think it was expert. I got to like 70 something.
And
on
whatever the hardest one is, high scores.
Yeah.
Or is it might be the other way around, expert and then master. I'm not sure, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I think
just
Master
played
is
Bop
the
It. I
hard
didn't
one.
know there were difficulties.
there was a secret one, a secret difficulty that you could unlock if you did a special combination with the thing.
Yes, you held down the pole and then you twisted it to.
Oh no, yeah, you
or
change. Yeah, you hold down the
pop it,
pole
Whatever.
while you change the difficulties, and it will unlock a 4th one.
Interesting.
But outside
Oh.
toys, you were saying?
I was gonna say, you guys know the everybody knows the the whistle football.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but we had a flat ball.
Yeah, we had a little ball that used a suction, had 2 suction cups on the inside of it, and you would squish it down, and you would throw it like a frisbee,
Oh,
and it would pop
It
out
would-
midair.
Yeah,
in the
okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I didn't know if you knew what it was because not many people actually know what that is, or know.
No,
of it.
yeah, I've
We also had these paddles that one was Velcro You'd be basically playing baseball, but with a tennis ball.
Oh yeah, I
Or
had
It was
one
a
of those.
disc strapped to your hand.
You had a disc, disc
A
strap. to your hand and you
a
catch
Velcro
it.
disc, and you would throw it at the other person. You'd catch it with
Yep.
a disc.
Yeah, I remember that.
Those are
And
fun.
there's
But
like badminton, wiffle ball,
Yeah.
all that stuff played as a kid.
Whizbee.
What about Nerf guns?
Mm.
Y'all had any of those?
Yeah, we
Playing
had,
with guns
had the
as
long
kids. Oh my
shot.
god, look at us.
Yeah, I mean, I still have my Nerf gun collection, but
Playing
Man.
Russian roulette with a Maverick.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then there's the video game
Yeah.
where you got that weird gun that you could take the barrel out or whatever.
Yeah, I actually
but you
have
had
that.
to. Me too.
Yeah.
You had to pull it back, and it would only load a shot. But then there's like 2 shots underneath that it would hold.
But the thing is, you take the barrel out and you stick in a Wii controller.
Yes, it was a Wii game.
Oh.
And that would be the thing, because you have to point the gun at the screen and shoot.
It was a typical rail shooter, but for
Mhm.
the Wii.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was pretty alright.
But the OG child game, chalk on the street,
Yeah.
chalk on the sidewalk,
Hopscotch and
Red one
shit.
is the best.
chalk on the driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the-
You could use chalk, so you could play Foursquare. Fuck, that was such a
Foursquare
fun
was
game.
banging.
Oh, yeah. Foursquare.
Man, we even played that in high school at one of our friends' birthdays because we were bored. We were in
Oh,
a
yeah,
park,
yeah,
and there's
yeah.
not much to do in a park,
Yeah.
so we had a ball.
I'd be down to play Foursquare now. Being
Yeah.
as old as
Well, I
we are
mean,
now.
yeah, they have a more adult version called what's the thing that they play with the trampoline? A handball. No, not handball.
no. Well, I know what handball is, but that's not. But the
Uh,
trampoline?
Trampoline in the middle.
Yeah, they hit
I
the
know
ball
what-
against trampoline.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
oh, okay, spike ball.
Spike ball.
Yeah,
That's what it's called. Yeah, that's the newer version of it, basically.
That's the
You
You
can
all
play
sit
that
on
anywhere.
4 sides of the trampoline. Right?
No, you
No, no,
stand,
no, no.
and the
So-
teams of 2.
yeah.
And
You can hit it in any direction.
You're jumping while you're doing it.
no. It's a little. It's like a mini
It's
trampoline.
the trampoline's for the ball.
Yeah.
You would hit against it,
Oh,
and it would
okay.
bounce up,
Yeah.
and your team would have 2 hits to get it. So one person, it would bounce off the trampoline, and then one person would pass it back to the other teammate, and the other teammate would hit it off the trampoline in a way
Basically
that the other team
Opposite
couldn't
of
hit
volleyball.
or get it.
No, so we, the group of friends I had in middle school and I would do that, but on a full trampoline. We would get like,
Right, I mean, that's
sit
probably
in
where it came
fours,
from.
Probably. Would sit in 4s, but you couldn't move. Like
Wow.
if you could like lean over
Mhm.
or whatever, but you couldn't like move to another area. So if you couldn't get the ball and the ball hit the trampoline or something, then that would be like you're out.
Right.
So it was that
That-
kind of
That
trampolines.
just
were cool.
reminded me of a finger football.
Yeah, you make those little paper things.
footballs.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Little
Yeah.
paper footballs. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Then,
The things that you do at restaurants and they don't like you for it.
Yeah. What about blowing the
Shoot,
rafters off the straws?
Sniping
Yeah,
people
well,
across the room.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But you know, those paper footballs, some people actually, if you do it right, that's actually how you're supposed to pull the flag. So
Oh yeah.
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 Mhm. Yeah.
it's just one of those things that, like, a lot of people know, but they don't know they know.
I never did it, so I have no idea.
or the fortune telling thing.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
weird.
yeah,
I
yeah.
still don't know how to make those.
It's,
I used to.
yeah.
I used to be. I can probably still make a paper balloon.
I cannot. Too many folds. I can look it
Paper
up real quick.
balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you fold it up in a way, and then when you go like you blow into it, there's a little hole, and it goes whoop, into a balloon.
I've never seen it.
Make paper cups too.
It's a fun way to give birthday presents because usually people they don't know what they want. It's like, oh, just give me money, and they're like, okay, here you go, and I give them a paper balloon. Where's the money? It's in the
Inside.
balloon. You have to blow it up.
That's cool.
Kaboom.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on this podcast where we talk about really anything that we want to. You can catch Mr. Jagweston over there on his socials if you want to quick plug it.
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter and YouTube, but mainly on Twitter, and then I stream on Twitch. Pretty much a bunch of different things. So just stick around and you'll see. If you like, cool. If you don't, cool.
At twitch.tv/Jagweston.
Quick spell it out because that's what you do on podcasts.
Don't ask an illiterate man to spell out his own name.
Yeah.
Jaguestin. Yeah, that's it. Yep, that's what it is. Jack Weston.
Variety streamer.
Oh yeah. Not crazy variety. I haven't like branched out yet, but I'm looking for stuff to do. So
All right. Well, we'll catch everybody next week. Name is still pending. Hopefully, we could get
Snadurday.
some suggestions from anybody if they watch the podcast. But yeah, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
ciao.
Bye, guys.